Welcome back. Today I'm going to play the David bot again on chess.com. Now the last video in which I played the David bot, David started messing up very early and I won pretty easily. I just had to be careful and maintain my advantage, as we always do with bots when they blunder early. But what I did yesterday was try to make the follow-up video to that, and I lost 2 quick games in a row to David. I shouldn't say quick. The first one was quick. The second one was not. The first one is this position right here. I blundered on this move. I thought David was attacking this pawn, and I went to defend it with the bishop, and of course David took my g-pawn, and it was going to win the rook right after that. So when I moved there, suddenly the evaluation goes into David's favor. He takes here, and I'm really surprised that it's only 0.68 here. I thought it was going to be probably +3 or +5 or something, so I just resigned right here. I'd already made an elementary blunder on move 4. In the second game, we were dead even right here on move 27. After move 27, David has just moved this rook over to pin my bishop to my queen, and I had to play queen to g5, at which point we would trade queens, or queen to d4 to get it out of the pin. Those are the only 2 moves, according to Stockfish, that would have kept us at even or very close to even. But instead, I pulled a rook over here to get behind this passed pawn. That gives David a -3, but only if he plays knight to g4. And of course, it's a bot, so he did. I don't know if a human opponent would have found that, but you know, they might. It's protected by the pawn. It attacks my queen and my bishop, which is already under attack by 2 other pieces. And very quickly, I went down a piece here, and there wasn't much I could do against a 1400 rated bot when I'm down a piece. So after a couple of more moves, I realized, oh, he's also going to go up the rook here, or the exchange. So I resigned that one too. So today I'm going to play another one. Once again, I'm going to let the computer choose the colors. I'm going to pick challenge, no help of any kind. And if I don't succeed in this game, I'm probably going to go back to the 1300 rated bots. If I win here, I'll try to play David a few more times until I feel like I'm winning consistently against David, and then I'll move on to the next one. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or chess coach. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. And one of the ways that I do that is play bots. Some of these bots actually play a little bit like humans. For example, in the last couple of games, David played an H-pawn or an A-pawn. I have human opponents that play those, and I need to learn how to play against that. I'm pretty sure here, Stockfish is going to say my best move is D5. Sorry, D4 is what that was. Oh, we've got this coming. This is the Borg defense, according to the opening book. But we have run into a problem several times with some of these openings. I think, too, against David, that the book should have transposed into a more familiar opening, but it didn't. So I don't know if this is still actually the Borg defense or not. In those others, I would just switch to the analysis board and play those same moves, get that same position, and it would not be whatever opening it said here. So I've learned not to trust that anymore. I don't know if I should play another center pawn here, or if I should try to immediately challenge that pawn, which is protected by the bishop. Should I go ahead and try to get the knight and bishop out here and castle? Do I want to castle into these pawns? I don't know. But I do have human opponents that play stuff like this in rapid games occasionally, and I have to learn how to deal with that. I'm going to get my light squared bishop out. That seems like a good square. It's controlling a diagonal. Okay, we have pushed the king's pawn. Can I just take that? I think I can just take that. Or is this one of those cases where Stockfish is going to say I should have put my queen here? I really don't like getting my queen out early, but there have been multiple times in the last month or 2 that Stockfish has said, hey, you should put your queen on h5, and because, you know, you're pointed at the f7 square. And of course, the engine always finds a way that the opponent can get out of that, and I'm not actually threatening mate. Like in this case, I assume they would pull their queen up here to defend that pawn. But I do know if I get my knight out, then I don't have the option to put my queen over there. How safe is the queen going to be here? I don't know. Should I take this pawn first and then put my queen there? I do know if that h-pawn moves 1 more square, then I won't be able to put my queen there because the rook will be defending it. So I'm going to trust a couple of analyses that I've done in recent weeks and think that I should do this. Oh, they put their queen here. I kind of thought that they would, but I can attack that, I think. Let's see, though. I blundered against David recently, and I don't want to do it here. What is David attacking? He's not really attacking my f2 pawn. I do know that if I take this pawn, I'm pretty sure the queen has to move at that point. And I don't think it can take back. If it takes back, then I'll have this. Oh, but then no, they couldn't block yet because the king is still here. Yeah, if I took here and they took back, I would have to check. The king would have to move over. Then I would pick up the bishop, and then their queen could block. And I could trade queens and be up a piece. But what else can they do if I take this pawn? They could just move over here, couldn't they? but then we would have a queen trade and that pawn would get messed up. I have no idea. And I think I've mentioned this several times recently. I don't like playing like this where I'm attacking with 2 pieces. I like to get my pieces out in castle, but I'm also trying to get better. And a lot of times Stockfish has recommended that. So yeah, I'm going to take the pawn and see what happens. Okay, that's what I thought they were going to do. The queen has moved over. I'm going to take it and get this. Let's see. That's still defended. Got doubled pawns here. Let's get this bishop out right here where it's defended, and then I can get this knight out. Let's see, that's going for that front pawn. Okay. I don't think there's anything I can do about that front pawn, is there? I mean, I could defend it with the knight, but then they'll immediately challenge it with the pawn. So yeah, I don't think I can defend that front pawn. I'm going to get this knight out and try to castle queenside. Okay, David has played another flank pawn. Should I come in here and try to do something like that? Or should I go ahead and castle? If that pawn moves forward again, I could always block it, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and castle. Okay, he's put another attacker on this pawn, which wasn't defended. All right, you know what? I am going to defend it now, even though they have 2 attackers on it. I don't care if they take or not, but if they push the pawn forward, I'm going to put my knight over here where it can hop in there, I think. Let's try that. Again, not worried about the pawn. Whoa, dude, what's going on? All right. Let's go ahead and do this. So that prevents the knight from coming in here and prevents this pawn from going any further, and it gives me an escape route for my bishop. Okay, they've gotten the rook out of there, so I think they might be planning on pulling this pawn now. Should I push this? I don't know if I'm ahead, behind, or what. You know what? Let's push that and see what happens. No, we've done this. All right. That allowed me to put an extra defender here. Okay. Oh, I just lost a piece. All right. And now I am a piece down. Okay. That's how it goes sometimes. Maybe I should line a rook up with the king. No, the king has moved. All right. I still want to put a rook on the open file. Wait, he's coming after this pawn. There's nothing I can do about that though, is there? If I go here, he can take, and he has 2 other pieces pointed at that square. So I think that pawn is lost as well. All right. Let him have it, I guess. What? What are you doing, David? I don't know what to do about that except to push this pawn. I mean, I thought about pushing this one, but then that's just going to encourage him to do what he should have done in the first place, right? I have no idea. I don't see any answers here. Okay, he finally did take that. All right. And that pawn is defended by the knight. Let's see. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm down in this game too. I just don't know. Yeah, once again, I have no idea where to go. I'm down multiple pieces and pawns now, 5 points of material. My knight's about to get attacked here. I can't move it there because then we do a trade and that helps my opponent. Let's maybe go here and try to come around this way. Oh, he got another pawn. Now he's going to move that one, I assume. He's got 3 passed pawns down there. And I can't stop any of them, so I'm going to resign this one. Oh. Let's see where I went wrong. It looks like there is a very clear spot on the graph where I went wrong. It's about right here. I was up by, oh, not as much as the graph said. Yeah, the graph here said I was up +1, but actually it was just +5, 0.5, which is basically even. So, but still, my next move was the blunder. What should I have played? I should have played knight to G1, or knight to E1, or captured here with check, or played knight to H4. Okay, this is where I went there and I did not realize that they had 2 pieces guarding that square and I only had one piece defending that square, so. And I was down ever since. All right. But it does look like that was my only blunder of the game. I had a couple of inaccuracies and mistakes, but those were at the beginning and it did not put my opponent ahead. This was the blunder that put my opponent ahead. I should have paid more attention to what they had defending that square. Okay. All right, well, that's 3 in a row versus David. So yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm not going to go forward to other 1400 rated bots because I can't even beat the Ven bot, which is 1300. And despite my beginner's luck against David in that first game, I'm not doing well against David either. Regardless, thank you for spending your time here. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.